We need to pay attention to this developing problem. So, guys, the reason why I say this is the developing problem because the dots are starting to connect. And in fact, these dots are pretty much in our face as in regards to what could happen within the next few months to the next few years. Now, back in 2024, there was a PDF file that was released online. The PDF file was the National Blueprint for Biodefense 2024. Now, this was a scenario-based situation or hypothetical situation that happened last year in July 4th or on July 4th of 2024. And a hypothetical situation was a virus known as the Napa virus gets released into the American population by way of a terrorist group or a clandestine nation that hates the United States. So over the weekend of July 4th, they released this virus into the American public, and Americans are infected all over the United States. As this is being released, it's starting to infect people almost immediately. And this scenario, it's overnight. And almost overnight, 280,000 Americans are wiped away, with 400,000 more Americans ill. Again, this is all overnight. So as this starts unfolding, they start realizing that more and more Americans are getting sick. And in the beginning of this, they couldn't identify this at first. Again, this is a scenario. They couldn't identify it at first. They often misdiagnose it for other problems. So now people start passing away. This is a scenario that they're given to the American people last year. And not a lot of people read about this thing. So now what I found interesting is that upon researching this, something else popped up, and I said, there it goes. There goes the dots connecting. Two things on both sides of the scenario-based PDF file that was released last year. The first thing was back in January of 2024, the first trial for the Napa virus arm ticket was being tested on humans. That was back in 2024, January. Around April or May of 2024, the National Blueprint for Biodefense 2024 comes out and is established. A few months, 4 months to 5 months after they do a human trial, they do their first human trial on the Napa virus arm ticket. All right. Lo and behold, about a week ago, they fast-tracked the arm ticket for the Napa virus to be released soon. They fast-tracked it. Now, this normally takes, any kind of study with these kind of arm tickets takes months, if not years, to get established. It's normally years, it's never months. Months if they're trying to fast-track it because something is currently happening. Nothing right now, as we know, is happening with the Napa virus. So why would they fast-track it years ahead of schedule? So being that now it's being fast-tracked and they say it's going to be out soon, I tell people, pay attention to what goes on in the next couple of months to the next couple of years. Because they're trying to push this nonsense on, they're trying to push it on people. Now, Oxford University developed the arm ticket. And now they're trying to issue the arm ticket to other medical companies or pharmaceutical companies so that I guess they can get their hands on it and start mass producing it. Right now, it's being fast-tracked to be mass produced. No one has claimed it yet, meaning none of the top-ranking pharmaceutical companies have grabbed it yet, but they will, because that is a money grab. But my point is, guys, it's the Napa virus, for those that don't know, has an 85% mortality rate. In the scenario, it was genetically modified. To what then? 99% mortality rate? So again, being that, guys, the Chinese also were caught recently with a fungus of some kind. Here in the United States, a couple was caught with a fungus. How many other couples are here with a fungus or some kind of a biohazardous material or disease of some kind that they're sitting on, waiting to release it? This, guys, is the problem, that while we are all sitting here looking at Iran and Israel, or Israel and Palestine and Israel, whatever fucking country they're going to bomb next, we're looking at Russia and Ukraine, we're looking at China, thinking about making a move on Taiwan, we're looking at all this bullshit, and we're missing the things that are happening behind the scenes, or the things that are happening that are not being brought up to the forefront because everything else is overshadowing it. And so now I'm starting to connect the dots with this arm ticket, why they pushing it and why they fast tracking it. Why not let it play out for the next couple of years to see what it does? But instead they're fast tracking it so that it can go into mass production soon. So, and they kept saying soon as if it was like a code word for this shit's going to be happening soon. Now, keep in mind, guys, this Napa virus currently, as it stands, is an 85% mortality rate. It's 40 to 85%, depends on where you are with your health, right? If you're elderly and you're sickly, you're definitely in the 85% range. If you are healthy and strong and young-ish, you're in the 40%. The 40% mortality rate, and anything in between is anybody who's constantly sick, not constantly sick, but anybody has any ailments, any diseases, or who are terminally ill, you're definitely falling within that range. So just keep in mind, guys, keep abreast of what's going on. Pay attention to any cluster of sicknesses that you see. So if you start seeing a spike in people in a certain area become violently ill, because this Napa virus swells the brain. So you get brain swelling, dizziness, drowsiness, respiratory issues, and then your brain starts swelling, and there's a whole bunch of other complications with brain swelling. And once you get to that stage in the disease, it's game over anyway. So other than that, guys, you got to stay abreast of what's going on. Keep in mind and pay attention to what's going on. No one's saying to panic. I'm not saying to panic. I'm not saying to flip out. I'm saying pay close attention. And when you start seeing the signs, start taking actions before the media starts telling you what to do. Because this could be something big, or it could be nothing, or it could be another fake bullshit numbers game they're going to play with us. Maybe people are not going to pass away from this. Maybe they're just going to start boosting numbers like they did on TV to get people nervous to take their arm ticket. Because who wants more money? The pharmaceutical companies do. That's how they get their money. They fabricate shit. They get you to stand in line like a drone. They get you to put something over your face 6 feet apart, not get, and then stand 6 feet apart when you're waiting for everything else. But when you get on a plane, sit right on top of each other. This is the game they want to play. Be careful of the bullshit, but pay attention to what you see and what you hear in regards to the possibility of this happening. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.